First at 11, chaos spilling out across the streets of Los Angeles this weekend as protesters continue to clash with law enforcement officials over the recent immigration raids in the city. And tonight, the National Guard has landed on the streets of Los Angeles after President Trump ordered their deployment. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Saul Mladvinka and for Lena Folk. These protests denouncing President Trump's immigration policies have been happening all weekend long, and tonight the LAPD and CHP have arrested at least 29 people. Here's a live look of the protests tonight, as earlier today a line of Waymo vehicles were set on fire during the protests. The Los Angeles Police Department is stepping up enforcement in areas where protesters have gathered. Today, the LAPD labeled the protests outside a detention center as an unlawful assembly. Police have told demonstrators they must leave the area or face arrest. President Trump today calling out Governor Gavin Newsom over the protests.
Have an incompetent governor. Just take a look at the train stations that he's building. Like 20 times over budget. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. So I did call him the other night. I said, look, you got to take care of this, otherwise I'm sending in the troops. That's what we did.
Governor Newsom, meanwhile, characterizes the deployment as inflammatory and further accuses Trump as trying to, quote, manufacture a crisis. National correspondent Christine Frizzell has more on how federal officials are responding to the protests.
On the ground in Los Angeles, a chaotic scene as protesters confronted police and federal agents. City buses and police cars surrounded. This car set on fire. And this was the view from inside a Customs and Border Protection car as it was being pelted by rocks.
You can protest all you want. You got your First Amendment rights. But if you cross that line of impediment, or you put hands on officers or destroy property, you will be prosecuted. There's zero tolerance.
Protesters angry about recent enforcement efforts by the Trump administration, resulting in the arrest of illegal immigrants. Actions expected to carry on for 30 days around the state of California.
Ice out of LA.
Clashes not just between police and protesters, but between the president and California's Governor Gavin Newsom, who insisted things are under control, warning Trump's directive to send in the National Guard will only escalate tensions.
We haven't asked for the help. We don't need the help. This is him escalating it, causing tensions to rise. It's only going to make things worse.
Supporters rushing to President Trump's defense.
I don't know why a governor would want to try to protect illegal activity inside his state, and the president has made it very clear. If the governor or the mayor of the city isn't willing to protect the citizens of his state or the city, then the president will.
With National Guard troops already in place, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has also warned the Marines at nearby Camp Pendleton could be mobilized and are on high alert.
We're going to have troops everywhere. We're not going to let this happen to our country. We're not going to let our country be torn apart like it was under Biden.
Critics argue President Trump is using the military to block dissent. According to the Brennan Center for Justice, it's the first time that the National Guard has been activated without a request from the state's governor since 1965. That's when Lyndon Johnson sent troops to Alabama to protect civil rights demonstrators. I'm Christine Frizzell reporting.
Many leaders in California are responding to the federal response to the protests. Governor Gavin Newsom says he has formally requested the Trump administration to rescind their unlawful deployments of troops to LA County. He also says, quote, we didn't have a problem until Trump got involved. LA Mayor Karen Bass echoes Newsom's statements, calling the deployment of federalized troops a chaotic escalation. She also emphasizes the right to protest peacefully and that violence will not be tolerated. Meanwhile, Congressman Vince Vaughn is voicing a different opinion and claims Governor Newsom is, quote, siding with violent mobs, attacking ICE and federal agents. He also says Democrats have allowed the chaos to reach this level and says Trump is stepping up to provide safety. And earlier tonight, the LAPD held a press conference addressing the protests tonight. Police saying while they support everyone's right to a free speech, any act of violence will not be tolerated.
In recent days, many protests across the city have been peaceful, and we thank the community for expressing their views and their frustration in a responsible manner. However, when peaceful demonstrations devolve into acts of vandalism or violence, especially violence directed at innocent people, law enforcement officers, and others, we must respond firmly. Our job is not to divide communities or politicize law enforcement. Our job is simply to keep everyone safe.
Meanwhile, back here in Bakersfield, this was the scene of traffic on Highway 58 from earlier this afternoon after a line of military vehicles were stopped on the right-hand side of the highway. There's no word on why the vehicles were stuck or why they were traveling through Bakersfield. Traffic has since improved. And now to an update on our question of the day, which is, should President Trump have sent National Guard troops into Los Angeles? And right now, again, around that 50-50 range, but with the yeses having 56%, while 44% of you say no. You can still weigh in tonight. Just scan the QR code on your screen or head over to our website, BakersfieldNow.com/question.